Hi, welcome again to our kitchen. Today we continue with our discussions about our immigrant ancestors, and I'm afraid I'm going to have trouble today because our guests, no, they're not our guests, they're our fellow citizens. I shouldn't use that word. The people we want to talk about are the Cambodians, and they have had so much pain and so much anguish in their history that I can't believe it. Most of us in America know very little about geography and much less about history. We're rather narrow-minded in that sense, I suppose, but please understand that the Cambodian culture goes back to the 1st century, 2,000 years ago, and at that time it was called the Funan, F-U-N-A-N, the Funan Empire. And they were attacked. They were invaded so many times that if you look at the map and understand that they're circled, well, China and India, of course, are close by, Malaysia, the Philippines, the South, Thailand, everybody's there. They were invaded so many times that it's just absolutely tragic. Finally, in the 19th century, the French decided they would take a slap at the Cambodians. I'm not being rude, I'm telling you the truth. The French decided they would take a slap at the Cambodians, and they did that. In 1955, just in our time, this ancient culture finally achieved independence, and it fell into the hands of the Khmer Rouge, a communist regime that killed off, we suspect, about 3 million people. We don't talk much about it. I have a friend with me in my kitchen today, and he said it's just like the Jewish Holocaust. Why don't we talk about it? Well, we should talk about it. The Cambodians have been viciously mistreated. Thousands fled during this time since 55, many to Thailand, and they've been spending terrible times in camps, and many fled to this country. But please remember that most of the really well-educated Cambodians were wiped out by the Khmer Rouge. They were shot. They were killed immediately. In our time, the country is called Kampuchea. Kampuchea. I think I've got it right. They're wonderful people. They're primarily Buddhist, so they're very kind and very gracious and very sweet and very introspective. If you saw The Killing Fields, the movie, then you know. Cambodian friends of mine who saw the film said, no, it wasn't like that. It was much worse. It was much worse. So today, we're talking about a very kind people who are very low-key. And I want you to go with the house, in Tacoma, Washington, we have a large community, and we're going to the Lee family. We're going to have a wonderful time at a meal. They've invited us to stop by. And this is Mrs. Lee preparing a wonderful sweet and sour soup. I couldn't believe her. Pineapple, zucchini, tomatoes, cooking away. Little fish sauce. You know, the Thais and the Cambodians, the Vietnamese all enjoy that. She said, just a pinch of sugar, she said. That's it. Look at that. That was it. And now a little salt. And this thing simmers away until at the last you add some crab and shrimp. We have one cooking, and we'll add the crab and shrimp later. I just smell it. Oh, that's good. She's so beautiful. The sons are out in the back porch cooking beef, which has been soaked in a fish sauce, cooking over charcoal. And Mr. Lee, isn't he gorgeous? These people are so lovely. And look at their face. There's a sense of calmness. And they have been to the edge of hell and back, I think. Now she's cooking a wonderful salad of fried rice noodles with beef and bean curd. It's rather complex, but I'll make one for you. Look at all the things she has prepared for us. And she begins with a kind of stew that she's prepared. You put that over the noodles. And then she does everything. You know, I do television shows, so I wanted to say, hurry, hustle it. But she does everything slowly and carefully. Well, this is an egg crepe, just a bunch of fried eggs that were made very thin pancakes. She puts that on the salad. Everything is done very beautiful. Little Chinese parsley or coriander, fresh coriander as we know it. Isn't she gorgeous? And she kept turning to me and smiling and chatting as we went. This is a beef salad. A rare beef salad of wonderful vegetables, and finally top it off with some coriander, and she'll toss that. And then we were all fascinated. Craig, my cooking assistant, was beside himself because neither one of us had ever really understood Cambodian cuisine. It's Fascinating food. And then she dishes this up on a beautiful bit of lettuce. I have to try and calm down because just seeing her again calms me.
Amen.
Amen. Mr. Lee is at the table. You notice we're sitting on the floor. Yes, I was surprised by that. This is in South Tacoma, Washington, my own city. They simply spread out a big tablecloth on the floor and we began. My dear friend, Father Kevin Allen, who's with the Episcopal Church, and sort of a missionary of some sort to the Cambodian community, is there at dinner too. You'll see his collar. He's a wonderful man. And look and Grandma's sitting. My legs were almost killing me because you have to sit on the floor in order to be polite. But your feet must be pointed in just so. We sat there and ate for 2 hours because I was enjoying myself. But, oh, boy, when I got up, you've got to be used to that. You've just got to be used to that. I really hurt. All right, let's do the fried rice noodles first. This is a very good dish. First of all, I want about 1.5 pounds of chuck roast or of boneless round that I pan-fried. And I've already done that for you. About 1.5 pounds here. And I'll put it into a pot so we can begin to simmer it. You get the scrapings. Look at that. That's the best part. This is natural sugar in the meat. Did you know it was sugar? Well, you better know. But this is the best part of the flavor. And that's what you want. All right. So put about 1.5 pounds. We cut this and then pre-browned it, you see. None of this food is complex, but it's very fascinating, very interesting. All right. Then I browned that in a little peanut oil. Now I'm going to add 1 can of tomato sauce. That's about 15 ounces. Tomato sauce, yes, you're right. Tomato came from America. But the Cambodians seem to really enjoy tomatoes, and that's fine with me. I want about 1.5 cups of chicken stock. We're going to let this simmer. So you make it it's kind of a stew. There's 1 cup. See, I have an 8-ounce measuring ladle. Aren't I clever? You should get one, for heaven's sakes. Saves you a lot of messing around in the kitchen. I don't measure the success of a meal by how many dirty pots I have. No, you thought I did, but I don't. I measure the success of a meal by how many burps I get. That's the truth. So try and cut down on the pots. It'll take less time to clean up, and I hope the burps will be good for you. A little bit of sugar, about 1 teaspoon. That's plenty. Teaspoon of sugar, and I want about 1/4 teaspoon. I'm going to shut that down. What's cooking up? Oh, this soup with pineapple in it is so unusual. Just so good. I want about 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. That should be plenty. And then we want a bit of pickled garlic. Now, we're going to have to talk about this one. Pickled garlic is a very unusual product. It comes in a jar from, you can pickle this yourself, I suppose. All it has in it is vinegar and sugar, but you have to cook the garlic, peel it. It's very complicated. But it's wonderful. You can find it in any Chinese market or, the kind of Vietnamese and Thai and Cambodian markets that sort of blend together in our time. Chop up. Here it is. Chop up 1/4 cup of this stuff. See what I've done? It's very simple. And put that in the pot. Come on, get in there. And then finally, we need some fish sauce. Now, please understand that throughout Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, a fish sauce means that you've preserved anchovies in salt and water, and you kind of allowed it to ferment. You see, it looks very clear. It isn't thick like soy sauce, but it's very salty. I want a couple tablespoons. 1, 2. Bring that to a simmer. Simmer it for, I suppose an hour would be fine. I'm sure what you get. I have one here somewhere. I found it. Simmer that for about an hour. Let's go back to our original pot because I have one other ingredient. At the end of the hour, this is very tender and nice, then you want to add some bean curd. And the bean curd has been cut into little strips, you see? See this? Look, no, they're not French fries. You guys cut that out. They're not French fries. It's bean curd cut in little strips and deep fried. Put in, it's about one nice cake. You can buy that in any Chinese market. Put in a nice cake of bean curd and cook that for a bit with the meat. I'm pretending now that we've cooked all of this, right? We're still simmering along, and it's going fine. Then we're ready to put the dish together. What you wind up with is this one. Is this ramen? Is this right? Here it is. You see, the solution cooks down, and it's very sweet and very delicious. Very wonderful food. All right, let's put it together. Now, I need about 6 ounces of Thai rice sticks. And rice sticks, I don't have any that haven't been cooked, do I? Well, rice sticks are a little wide rice stick. Don't get the skinny one. See these? And then we've deep fried them. Deep fry them twice. One at 400 degrees the first time in oil. And then take them out and drain them. And then do it again. Put them back in again. So you'll have a nice crunchy dish. So aren't these wonderful? Isn't that fun? I just love this dish. When Mrs. Lee made it for us, we were all very surprised. Channing tried to eat the whole works. I couldn't believe him. We had a good time. All right. Now, we want to put some eggs in a wok and fry them, or make a large frying pan, make a very thin egg pancake. And we'll use these for a kind of garnish and a dish. You see? It's just egg pancake cut into little julienne. See that? Little julienne threads. It's very easy. I know it looks complicated, but you can make a terribly thin pancake and then slice them up as juliennes. I mean, some bean sprouts. Good fresh bean. Don't buy those things in the supermarket if they look gray on one end. You know, they're just blue. You don't want that. There we are. Put in a good handful of bean sprouts. And then finally, we're going to ladle in. I can find a ladle here. We're going to ladle in I'll just pick it up. Ladle in some of the meat and bean curd. And toss all of this. Let's do the whole works. Why not? Let's do the whole works. It's very rich food. But you notice it doesn't have a lot of soy sauce or that sort of thing in it. So for most of us, it looks a bit different, you see. But it's wonderful stuff. If I don't spill this all over the world, I'm going to use my fingers to help. Why not? Mrs. Lee didn't. Did you notice that? She knows what she's doing. I don't. There we are. Okay. That's a little bit more. Isn't that a lovely dish? Bean sprouts, deep fried noodles, the sort of beef stew that we made, a beef tomato stew that we put together, and we'll put that on a platter now and garnish it a bit. And the garnishes are really, in this case, I think are just primarily for color, except for the coriander. There. Oh, this is good. This is the one that she made for us. I hope she's watching, and I hope she's not turning to her husband and saying, boy, did he blow that dish. I really hope, ma'am, that I'm close to your recipe. We tried to pay close attention, but, in every culture, there's a certain kind of, what is the word? There's a mindset that you have to understand in order to come up with a dish. It isn't just ingredients. It's a way of thinking. And the Cambodians, the word laid back is not appropriate. The word calm and introspective and gracious and kind, that's the word. So their food is not blatant. It's not hot like food you'll find in some other cultures in the Far East. It's not hot at all. As a matter of fact, I find it very mild and very delicious. All right, let's get some coriander on the top of that for a garnish. That'll do us. A little chopped coriander, fresh Chinese parsley sometimes you call it, or fresh coriander. And some, let's see, we've got some red pepper here somewhere. Here it is. This is fresh red bell pepper. Doesn't that add a nice touch? Isn't that beautiful? And put that out before your guests. You can have a wonderful Cambodian party. Just remember, you've got to sit on the floor. It'll kill you. I'm 6'4". I'm just not used to that. I'm just not used to it. Very difficult. All right. There's the first one for the day. I think that's a classic. Now, another salad, a beef salad that's very, very simple to prepare. You take, here we go. We've cooked some beef sirloin roast. And please don't overcook meat, you see. Don't overcook the beef. You see this, how pink and nice that is? Isn't that gorgeous? Slice it just as thin as you possibly can. Isn't that nice? What I've done is to rub this roast, it's a 2-pound roast, with soy sauce first. And then bake it, roast it so that it comes out very juicy and nice. But there's an additional bit of flavor given by the soy sauce. Now, let me see. Get a bowl here and we'll we'll get into it. This one is fun. So the meat's here. Now, here we go. Hang on to your hat. If you haven't caught all the ingredients, I don't know how I can possibly repeat them all because there's so many things that go into this. She did this one for us. We have 2 cups of chopped cabbage. You know, this bowl's not going to be big enough. Oh, I think it'll be all right. This is napa cabbage. We have half a cup of carrots, and I've just julienned all this stuff in my mandolin. You've seen that, my little toy. And we want some celery. Oh, another half cup or so. There we go. And we want some red bell peppers. These are sweet bell peppers. You understand that? These are not hot peppers. Sweet bell peppers from the supermarket. There we are. And then some green bell peppers. There we go. Do you know, I'm still hearing arguments about whether or not these 2 peppers are the same thing. Is a red bell pepper a green bell pepper that is ripened? I don't think so. I think they're a different variety. I'm not sure, but I think they are. And finally, we're going to add some mint leaves, about half a cup. I have everything out in little glasses. If you don't have a lot of French glasses in your kitchen, you're missing out because they fit in your dishwasher quickly and you can use them 1,000 ways. It's easy. Now, let's make a dressing for this dish. And the dressing is, whoops. There we are. Excuse me. I can't afford to lose my notes. If you don't have notes when you're cooking, for heaven's sakes, I think you're in real trouble because I have to keep order in my kitchen. Patty and I nearly kill each other when we're cooking for a dinner party unless we have everything on little notes. We tack them up on the hood above our oven so that when people come to the door and they enter, I don't turn to Patty and say, "You said you were going to make the salad dressing." She says, "No, you were going to make that." Don't argue. Write things down. It's all right. Good cooks do it. Bad cooks do it. Write things down. It'll save you a lot of time. Let's make a dressing now. The dressing will consist, now if I can find the right bowl here, the dressing will consist of 3 tablespoons of lime juice. Now, the lime juice, 1, 2, 3, that's, my Lord, that's just a minute. That's a little bit much. There we go. That's about 3 tablespoons. All right. 3 tablespoons of lime juice, not lemon, but lime juice, and fresh squeezed. And then I want 3 tablespoons of nuoc mam. 1, 2, 3. Nuoc mam, I mean fish sauce, you see. That's the Vietnamese name. And about a half teaspoon of garlic. Just going to crush it right in here. And we'll be fine. There we go. Garlic, fish sauce, and lime juice so far. Isn't this interesting? But it makes a wonderful, wonderful salad. I'm very impressed with the kind of calm cooking that these people... You never see me cooking calmly, do you? Well, I didn't ask you. I shouldn't have asked you. It doesn't matter. Now, here's something interesting. There is an herb from Thailand and Cambodia called galanga, and it comes in little dried slices like this. See this? Now, you soak it in water, and it's kind of like a... Well, it looks like sliced ginger, but of course it's not like dried ginger. It's not at all. The flavor is much, well, it's woodier, much woodier. Is that a word? Well, it is now. We've used it in national television. It's woodier. But it's bright and very delicious. You want to chop up, soak it for about an hour first. And then I want to chop up just a bit of this stuff. Oh, what do I want? I want 1/4 of an ounce of it. You see, and I've chopped it up very fine there we go. After I've soaked it, kept it in water to keep it moist, and that will now go into our dressing. There. So simple. Now I want 1½ teaspoons of sugar, and we have the dressing for the salad. There it is. Mix that up, and isn't this fun? Cambodians are so beautiful. I couldn't believe the leaves. Channing was very taken by the whole operation. Now we'll put the beef in. See, we got the dressing in here. Now we'll put in the slices of beef. And toss all of this. Boy, our slices were bigger than hers, weren't they? She had hers cut a little bit smaller. Not as wide, I mean, you see. But ours are just as thin. It makes a wonderful salad. Now let me see what I can put that on here. Okay. Boy, this place is going to be a mess today. We're just getting started. There are dishes all over the place. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Let me see. Let's try this one. Is there a letter? Oh, that's for a different dish. I'm trying to remember where I'm going. All right, you get your own television show and you see if you can figure out where things are. I don't care anymore. You just find out, all right? And finally, we want to prepare. There we go. This should be enough, I think. Isn't that gorgeous stuff? The vegetables and the dressing and the beef. Yes, the beef is at room temperature. It's cool. Let me put that out for you. It's cool and very, very delicious. Wonderful eating. Yes, rice is appropriate. The Cambodians eat rice. They will have silverware or chopsticks because they're terribly polite people and they don't want you to be uncomfortable ever. So let's do the third one. Third one is a raw fish salad. This is really terrific. You know, you did hear me. Yes, it is raw fish. But what you do is marinate the fish. This is cod, fresh cod. See? I've got about a pound here. You marinate it in about half a cup of lemon juice. Excuse me. Back off. Lime juice, because we're in Cambodia. About half a cup of fresh lime juice. Marinate that for about half an hour. There you are. Let's pretend that's half an hour. And at the end of the half an hour, we can finish the salad. It's just wonderful stuff. The lime juice, well, it firms the meat up in such a way that it kind of cooks it, you see? Kind of cooks it. At the end of that time, we're going to want to add some green beans, about 6 green beans. You know, green string beans, right? Fresh, raw, cut up, and about 4 green onions. A couple cloves of crushed garlic. Here's a great big one I'll just squeeze in here. And some nukmam. And that's it. That's it. That's the salad. Always use the back of your knife. You see that? Don't ever use the sharp edge when you're scraping things. Always use the back of your knife. That way you won't dull the blade. I know you should have known that yourself, but I like to tell you these things because it took me years to learn that. Finally, we want to add about a tablespoon of nukmam. Toss all of that. I have one already for you. Let me show you. It's so delicious. Add a little bit of red pepper for a garnish. And look at this. Isn't that beautiful stuff? Isn't that gorgeous? Craig, you're going to have to help me with the rest of these dishes. Come on along. What have we got here? We got more stuff. You want to finish off the soup? Sure. Okay. Where is it? Here's my list. So many things. Catch this. We have a pot of the soup that she made with pineapple and zucchini and tomato. And what are you going to put in this?
Well, it's a half a pound of shrimp, peeled and deveined.
All right, let's go.
That goes into the pot.
Okay.
This is all at the last minute because you don't want to overcook it.
Right, okay.
And a quarter pound of pulled crab meat.
All right. What do you mean? What's pulled mean?
Well, it's already been cooked and it's been taken out of the shell.
All right, pulled it is.
Stir that up.
Pulled it is. All right, you want this one?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. We're going to dish up in a hurry here. Look at this. I have spare ribs, sweet spare ribs, cooked with whole eggs. Can you see the spare ribs? Cooked with eggs, a little bit of sugar in this. Oh, this is a good dish. This one you'll have to find in the cookbook that goes with this particular series, not some other series. This is one of my favorites. Very classic bit of Cambodian cuisine, sweet eggs with spare ribs.
And then the clincher on this soup is just a little bit of white pepper. That's what really gives it a nice flavor.
All right.
So you got to have a little of that.
You know, it's interesting. People in the Far East use much more white pepper than we do. We use black pepper, but it's a very different flavor, isn't it? It's not the same at all.
Delicious. And I'll ladle some of this into the tureen.
We're missing something. Where is it? Hot and sour soup. Oh, here it is. Beef on a stick. Beef on a stick is easy to prepare. It's simply beef steak that's been sliced and marinated in a little bit of nukmam or fish sauce, you see, and then roasted over the grill. You got that ready to go?
Sure.
Let's put it out. All right. There we have. Oh, that looks good, Craig. Stick it right out in the front here. Right out in the front. Can you reach that? There we go. All right. Thank you so much, friend. Do we have it all? I didn't think I was going to get through this today for 2 reasons. One, there are a lot of dishes, but 2, I'm really concerned that you understand that somewhere in your community there are some Cambodian people who need to feel comfortable here. And they're beautiful people, wonderful people. And they cook, oh, do they cook? Sweet spare ribs with eggs, or a wonderful salad, or beef on a stick, or beef salad with wonderful vegetables, or even raw fish salads. And certainly this classic soup with shrimp and fresh vegetables. It's Cambodian, and it belongs to America now. This is the Frugal Gourmet. Until I see you again, I bid you peace. Bye-bye.